Okay guys, so this is potentially the most beneficial video in this mini course, and that is how can you tell how much a phone is worth before you go buy it. So whenever you are appraising a phone, it's very important that you appraise the exact phone that that customer has for sale. So if someone says they have an iPhone 6s in good condition, that can vary. You need to figure out, is there like a little tiny hairline crack on the phone? What phone carrier is it for? This information is crucial to make sure that you're offering a valid, accurate price, because you cannot buy a phone that is cracked, even if it's a little tiny crack, as good condition. Because if you sell a phone as cracked, you have to list it as parts only. And actually, if you ever appraise a phone or you buy a phone, you usually want to list it as parts only anyway, because we buy and sell as bad ESN. So I'll do a couple quick examples here. So let's take the iPhone 6s example, and let's look up a cracked iPhone 6s for T-Mobile. And something you got to know too is there's different storage sizes for phones. So whenever we are appraising a phone or giving an offer, you can ask them what storage size it is, but truthfully, a lot of people don't know. So I always appraise as the lowest storage size. I always assume that they have the lowest storage size. So then if they do take my offer and it ends up being a bigger storage size, then I just benefit from that, right? So if I appraise it as a 16 gigabyte and it ends up being a 64 gigabyte phone, then I just make more money on the deal. So I always appraise as the lowest storage size. So let's just look this up. So you always want to check sold listings. So over here on the left-hand side, you'll see sold listings. Click on that. So here we go. We got one here that went for 125. We got here, this one's water damaged. We cannot use this one. Went for 33. There's another one, cracked. Probably doesn't power on. Here's one for 75. Here's one for 81, 54. They're kind of all over the place. Now you have to watch out here. This is just a regular 6S. This is a 6S Plus. Let me see if that top one was also, because that one went really high. That's also a 6S Plus, so that's why it went for 125. So far I'm seeing an $81, a $75 with a box. Let's see. $79. So I would probably put this phone right around the $75 to $80 mark on what you'll make on it. So remember, we operate on 40 to 60% margins. At least that's our goal, right? So you wouldn't want to pay, you'd want to pay around 30 to 40 bucks for this phone if you could get it for that. So I hope that kind of clarifies a little bit for what you're searching for. So if you have a phone for sale, or if you're buying a phone, the biggest things you're looking out for, the carrier and the condition. That's the two biggest things. And of course, the exact model of phone. So, if you're buying an iPhone 8, make sure that you're searching iPhone 8. You ask them what the carrier is. Say it's Sprint, iPhone 8, Sprint, and then what the condition is. Is it cracked? Does it have any issues? If it doesn't, just search iPhone 8, Sprint, bad ESN. I have a whole video on ESN that explains what that is, but just for best practice, always buy and sell as bad ESN. So regardless if someone says their phone is paid off, if they say their phone's unlocked, do not pay more for that phone. You're going to burn yourself in the long run, especially if you're new to phone flipping. And there's all kinds of reasons behind that, but just take my advice on it, that you want to buy and sell as bad ESN. So the easiest way to appraise, once again, you find 3 comparables, and you look for the exact phone under sold comps. So someone tells you they have an iPhone 8 Plus. It's for Sprint. And it's perfect condition, they tell you. This is what you would search. iPhone 8 Plus, Sprint, bad ESN. And you want to appraise the lowest storage size. So, you do have to do a little bit of education, knowing the different storage sizes of different models. iPhone 8 Plus comes in 64 gig and 256 gig. So this is stuff you just learn over time. iPhone 7 comes in 32 gig, 128 gig, and 256 gig. So there's different storage sizes, but always appraise the lowest storage size when you're looking. So here's a good one. iPhone 8 Plus 64 gig Sprint bad ESN. This one also has Apple Care though, so be careful. That one might have went for a little bit higher. Doesn't look like it probably affected it though. So you got a 390, another 390, 319. This one's cracked, so you can't use that one. We're looking for good condition. Here's a 370, 395, 365. That's 256 gig, can't do that. That one's for, oh, that one went for 250. I bet that one has a crack or something on it. Something's got to be wrong with it. There's another 390, 330. So they're kind of all over the place a little bit, but I'm looking at probably high 380s. I would say 380 would be a good, accurate price on this. Because the further back you go, the less they'll be worth. Or the more they'll be worth, sorry. So I'd say like 380, 390-ish is what you'd be getting on this phone. So once again, your offer should be operating on 40 to 60% margins. Whenever you get these bigger phones, the ones that are more pricey, you tend to have to slip a little bit on margin. You don't have to, but that's just what I found, that you can slip a little bit on the margins. If you're making $100 profit, it only took you 10 minutes. Is that worth your time? In my opinion, absolutely yes. But maybe you want to make your offer $200 starting out, and then come up to 240, 250 if you have to, and then you're selling for 380, and you're still making a good decent profit. So hope that helps out. Search for, remember, the exact phone model, the exact condition, the exact carrier. Always search bad ESN, and make sure you're searching for sold completions, not what they're listed for on eBay, but what they're selling for on eBay. So that's all I got in that video.